So I bet you're wondering about the title of today's episode, and that's because there's a very famous picture of the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think it was Punch Imlach at the time, sitting in the Leafs locker room with a tiny little cup of champagne, his feet propped up on his desk, and next to those feet, the Stanley Cup. On the chalkboard in the locker room is a simple message: no practice tomorrow. And your 2024 Oryx Buffaloes did indeed succeed at hoisting the Japan Series trophy last stream, and did so in interesting fashion, I must say. We won the pennant to start, and then we had a close series against the Cebu Lions. We got our one-game head start that I safe-scummed until we got. We had a good thing going until the top of the eighth, where we gave up 11 runs. Julian Fernandez just had a bad day. 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 earned runs. I mean, this is why this was the Oryx of the Oryx Buffaloes happening. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Next game, Max Kepler decides to take command. 2 dingers. They take a lead. We take it back. They tie it. 6-3, 9-3, 9-7, 11-7. Thad Ward having a decent game, but not being able to get out of the fifth. Bullpen takes over. Kyoyama and Iwazaki scuffle a bit, but get the job done. Game 2, Buffaloes go to town, work up an 8-3 lead after 4 innings, and coast to a 13-5 finish. Sakakibara, 5 innings of bleh work, but at least the bullpen doesn't blow a head gasket this time. Game 5 was one of the ones we streamed. Kaito Yoza has the game of his career. Goes 7 innings, only allows 1 earned run. Kai Mataira getting the save. Hitomi Honda holding it to 1 run, but Kaoru Higashi just couldn't hold the barn door shut. And then in Game 6, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 7 shutout innings. Iwazaki gets a hold, McGarry slams the door for the save. And then it was on to the Japan Series. Taking on the Yomiuri Giants, who took out the Hanshin Tigers in 4 games. Again, first game didn't count. And we swept them. We swept them 32-4 aggregate score. Yoshinobu Yamamoto had 3 hits. That's more than all but 2 Giants. Which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. He only played 1 game. Masataka Yoshida's slash line of 412, 500, 588 gets him MVP honors. I personally would have given it to maybe Seiya Suzuki, who had an even better line. But that's me. Also included in that story is Isamu Fukuda pitching 6 innings of 1-run ball. Almost getting the win, but Tamao Fujimoto blew the save, but stole the win because this team has no quit. Which brings us to the draft day of NPB. Because Lord knows we could use some extra prospects. I mean, we built a Death Star. Now we just need to keep it. Sorry for one, folks. I just need to locate... There we go. And because it's draft day, that means it's time for an NPB-style draft. Excuse me one moment while I set things up. There we go. All right. So as you can see, because of the unbalanced nature of the league, the Bears will draft first, basically first through sixth, alternating Pacific League, Central League, and then dangling at the end, the top two teams in the Pacific League, Saitama, Seibu, and us. Some interesting options in the draft pool this season. Ignore that I was in the midst of doing some bug fixes for Out of the Park Baseball. Turns out they may have an issue with some of the schools appearing more frequently than they should. So the guy I had my eye on initially was Jitsuo Onizuka here. High intelligence. Already got that gap power. OSA adores him, and he's durable. Switch hitting first baseman. But the guy I may end up going for first is Hirotoshi Tateishi here. Ground ball pitcher, decent movement, 3 good pitches already, fantastic holding runners. Ground baller, and that contact bat. We could have another two-way prospect. But it's the first round in NPB style, which means I have to stake my claim before anyone else. And then we're going to go in order. I'm going to hop into commissioner mode. And we'll flip the teams around, see who they draft first. We've done this a few times. We've done this twice before, but the rule is if more than, let's say, 7 or 8 guys all draft the same player, we're not going to proceed with it, and we'll just go with it normally. So, do I try and zig and get Onizuka? Or do I go for the stud pitcher? I mean, I feel like first basemen come by, you can come by them pretty frequently. And he could go first. Nozumo Inoue. So I'm gonna stake the claim. And it's gonna be Tateishi. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. I actually need to put that on the left. Okay, so let's get underway. Remember, we called Tateishi. The Niigata Komatsu Bears. We'll select Hirotoshi Tateishi. That's gonna cause problems, I bet. Alright. Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Select Tateishi. Okay, so far no surprises. The Okinawa Kirin Spirit. They want Tateishi. Chunichi Dragons. Want to get in on Tateishi. I hope everyone doesn't go for him, because that would probably mean we're not doing an NPB style draft this year. Alright, the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Want in on Tateishi. You know what? Even if everyone goes in for him, I'm still going to go ahead with an NPB style draft. Why not? It's not like I can gimp the game anymore. We already won the Japan series. That's 7 teams in for Rocky here. Yokohama DNA. Okay. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. This is actually impressive because I don't think there was there was the Atsushi Sakamoto draft in the first year that we did this, but remember, we zigged and we took Yuki Sato instead. So if I took Onizuka, I could have zagged, but I'm not allowed to change my vote. I'm going to have to be in the draft with everyone else, and it looks like it is going to be everyone else. Man, I hope the Hawks don't get him. Or the Fighters, or the Lions, actually. Okay, Yomiuri Giants. Everybody, I mean everybody, wants Tateishi. I wonder if that's happened in the real NPB, that every single team wants to go for the same guy. The only one I can think of is Kotaro Kiyomiya, who got 7 teams trying to pick him. Well, there it is. It's a unanimous sweep. Tateishi on everyone's mind. So I have a 1 in 12 chance. Same as everyone here. Oh, and by the way, I wound up changing the Hokkaido Fighters back to the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Even though they were sold, I don't feel like changing their team name. Especially since, and it's worth pointing this out, next season is the NPB 75, and I'm trying to come up with images for every single team, or new uniforms. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's everyone. And now, the draw that could change someone's career. The Central League pennant winner and 28-time Japan Series champion Yomiuri Giants will indeed win the draft lottery and select Hirotoshi Tateishi first overall. Then is the breaks. I would love to know why the 8th round always gets frozen too. Well, no turning back now. So, we go into the first supplemental round now. A lot of good players still on the board. And based on my scouting... I mean, at this point I have to put in Furo Nizuka. Good pitchers, yeah, but Chuji Ito, I don't think any of his pitches are going to actually develop. Takahiro Okita, Natsuki Endo, we already have someone who plays like him, and I don't like his bat as much. And I'm hoping Yoshitomo Yamauchi hangs on until he shows up at the bottom of the draft, so we can get him. Although, there's one other starting pitcher who... Yeah, Masafumi Kusano. This guy is going to be probably our second or third round pick. High movement, 2 good pitches. As a bullpen guy, yes. So we're going to call Jitsuo Onizuka as our second round pick, or our second option out of the first round. The Niigata Komatsu Bears, with their second choice, Chuji Ito. Hopefully it's not the same thing over and over and over again. Everyone going for the pitchers early. Okay. Okinawa Kirin. Puts in a claim for Chuji Ito. And I can't go back now, I did save. Junichi Dragons. Chuji Ito. Okay, Chiba Latte. One of the other things I'm going to do today is boost the trade frequency. I feel like there just isn't enough trading in NPB. I mean, the real NPB, there was actually a period this week where there were 2 trades within the span of 48 hours, and I've never seen that before. Certainly not in this league. I'll have to check the transaction log to see what's going on there. Everyone wants in on Chuji Ito now. See, the thing is, I'm not sure if you're out of the park baseball how to even do this style. You need like a completely different AI. to do the proper deliberations for, can I get this guy? Do I want to get this guy? Would someone else try to get this guy? So we may have Onizuka to ourselves, at least. Successfully zigging where everyone else is zagging. Okay, so a whole bunch of Chuji Ito calls. And Seibu is going to choose Chuji Ito, but this is important. We have zigged and zagged successfully. Jitsuo Onizuka will be drafted by the Oryx Buffaloes in the first round. We got him. So, let's see here. We got 10 teams vying for the services of the second best pitcher in the draft. A hush falls over the crowd. This game officially hates me. So, the Dynasty team, the team that owned the 2010s, Fukuoka SoftBank, will take the second best pitcher in the draft, in Chuji Ito. I'm going to mute my system sounds. There we go. So that's 2 names off the board, folks. Oh wait, what am I doing? 3 names. I forgot about my own draft there. Excuse me one moment. The Oryx Buffaloes will happily select the switch-hitting first baseman, Jitsuo Onizuka. We are now into the 3rd supplemental round of the draft. Now it's going to be interesting. Are they going to go for relievers? Are they going to still go pitching heavy? Or is Nozumo Inoue finally going to get some takers? Hopefully you don't have to do another draft again, or another draw again. The Niigata Komatsu Bears will try for Nozumo Inoue. Okay then. Tokyo Yakult Swallows. They want in on Inoue as well. And the worst part is I can't back out now, otherwise I feel like I'm cheating. I mean, technically I kind of am a little bit. I'm not playing the game the way it's supposed to, but whatever, it's my stream, haha. Come on, there has to be a scout who says something different somewhere out of this group. This is why groupthink is a bad thing, kiddies. And this is also the issue with the NPB style draft, in that it can favor the good teams and hinder the bad ones. So let this be a lesson to you all. Okay, so we have another everybody in draft for the services of Nozumo Inoue. Looks a solid. Alright, so that's Komatsu, Yakult, Kirin, Chunichi, Lotte, Hiroshima, Rakuten, DNA, Nippon Ham, Hanshin, Seibu. A hush falls over the crowd again. And one of the expansion teams gets their guy. Okinawa Kirin has their franchise stud. Probably he could start right away, basically. Nozumo Inoue. All right. 3 contested draft picks, and 1 me sneaking in to get our first base prospect of the future. So who's left? Niigata Komatsu. We'll select the shortstop, or the second base center fielder, Natsuki Endo. Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Finally! We'll take a different center fielder, Munenao Kuroki. Big power bat out of college. Decent range. He could be a phenom for this squad. So at least we won't have another clean sweep. Junichi Dragons. Wantin on Kuroki. Chibarate. Want to get in on Kuroki as well. The Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Another option, Yasuyoshi Tsumoto. Decent power bat. Fantastic fielder, it looks like. They may have their guy at this pace. If nothing else, at least the Bears are feeling pretty clever for taking Natsuki Endo. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles want Kuroki. Yokohama DNA Baystars want in on Tsumoto. So we will have a few more contested draft picks. But at least with 3 names, we should be able to get out of the first round soon, I hope. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Interesting. They're in on Tsumoto too. Alright, who would Hanshin select? Hanshin wants in on Kuroki. Finally, Saitama Seibu. They are in on Kuroki as well. So fortune favors the bold with the Komatsu. The Bears get their man in Natsuki Endo. So who will get the next one? So, for the services of Kuroki, we have Yakult, Junichi, Totte, Rakuten, Hanshin, and Seibu. So a 6-team rally for the services of this fellow. And the Yakult Swallows have their man. So we will just let them select. Now, there's a 3-way tie for the next guy. And that's Tsumoto. Yasuyoshi Tsumoto here. And that's Hiroshima, DNA, and Nippon Ham. And the Hiroshima Toyo Carp have their guy. Alrighty. Let's import the draft order. And the Carp have Tsumoto. So halfway through the draft now. And there are 7 teams remaining. Junichi, Chiba, Rakuten, DNA, Nippon Ham, Hanshin, and Seibu. And you gotta feel bad for the Lions. They've basically just gotten unlucky and unlucky and unlucky. Unfortunately, we're now at the point where I can't actually edit the order anymore. So I have to use the draft import to see who changes. So hopefully, we don't have too many everyone goes for the same guy. Junichi is going to put in for Akira Mori. Interesting choice. They must see something in him they like. Chiba Latte Marines would select Akira Mori. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles want in on Mori. I wish I knew what about this guy appealed to them, because I'm not seeing it. I just ain't. The DNA Bay Stars are going in for Mori. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, wanting on Mori. I mean, I don't see it, do you? What's so special about this guy? Clipstream my butt. The Hanshin Tigers, wanting on Mori. Finally, the Saitama Seibu Lions want to select Takahiro Okita. So the Lions do a zigzag and get their man. I had my eye on Okita as well, so it's good to see that he went to a strong team. I just wish it wasn't in our division. So we have a 6-team draw for Mori. That would be Chunichi, Lotte, Rakuten, DNA, Nippon Ham, Hanshin. Man, the fighter's luck in this draw always burns me. So Hokkaido Nippon Ham will get the services of Akita Mori. So that leaves 5 teams remaining in the first round. So, Seibu will indeed take Takahiro Okita. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters get Mori. So the Pacific League are making out like bandits this draft, I have to say. Junichi still doesn't have their guy. Neither do the Bay Stars or the Tigers. Poor Hanshin, man. So once more, Junichi Dragons. They gotta get someone. Shinya Taguchi, the starter. Finesse pitcher, interesting call. Chiba Lotte Marines also want Taguchi. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles will select Shinya Taguchi. Yokohama DNA Bay Stars will select Shinya Taguchi. Here we go again with everyone trying to pick the same dude. Is Hanshin gonna pull a head fake here? They have the last choice in this, the 5th of the first rounds. Nope, we will have a 5-team draw for the services of Shinya Taguchi. So the teams left are Junichi, Lotte, Rakuten, DNA, and Hanshin. Well, that settles it. The Hanshin Tigers have their man. So far, credit to the Komatsu Bears for doing a zigzag as well, and the Saitama Seibu Lions. Sometimes having a different scout helps you immensely in getting the folks you want. So, 4 teams remain. Chunichi, Chiba Lotte, Yokohama DNA, and Tohoku Rakuten. The Chunichi Dragons will choose in the 6th round of the first round Takayasu Kawaguchi. Big stuff guy. Could pair very nicely with the Atsushi Sakamoto they got in the draft lottery first time around. The Chiba Lotte Marines would select Kawaguchi. Come on, guys, be creative, will ya? Don't get goo-goo eyes over every single starting pitcher that comes your way. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles will select Yuya Sera, the catcher. Catcher with a big bat. Unless DNA picked him, the Eagles might finally have their guy. And the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars will select Takayasu Kawaguchi. So, finally, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have their player, and in an interesting twist, they have a catcher of the future now, in Sera. So for the services of Takayasu Kawaguchi, it's Chunichi, it's Lotte, and it's DNA. Quiet on the set, please. The Yokohama DNA Bay Stars will get the services of Takayasu Kawaguchi. And good work by the Eagles, zigging where others zagged. To get their new catcher prospect, Yuya Sera. And then there were two. The Chunichi Dragons and the Chiba Lotte Marines, and hopefully they don't go for the same guy. Because we've come up on an hour here and we're still doing the stinking draft. Junichi Dragons will go for Atsutomo Mukai, slap-hitting second baseman. Mukai looks like my kind of player, actually, but I went with Onizuka instead. Come on, Chiba. Don't pick the same guy. For Pete's sake. We will have a draw-off between Chunichi and Lotte for the services of Atsutomo Mukai. A lot of contested picks this year. And Chunichi finally gets a win in the draft lottery. Chiba Lotte going 0 for 7. So, the Dragons will get Atsutomo Mukai, and the Chiba Lotte Marines will take center fielder Eisuke Ono. They went with defense. And there you have it, folks. The 2024 first round selections are now complete. And while I'm still in commissioner mode, I'm going to hop into settings here. Now, where's the trade frequency? Is that under game settings, I wonder? The eye settings? Trading frequency. Let's move it from very low to low. So if I go into the league trade log, there's only one trade in here that doesn't involve me. And that was the impressive trade the Cart made when they were going for it that season, picking up Shota Imanaga and giving up Ryoma Nishikawa and Hirao Soga. Soga turned out to be nothing, but Ryoma Nishikawa has turned into a fantastic left fielder for the Bay Stars. And they extended him. So, we're out of commissioner mode. Once I save, we'll continue the first round of the draft. A lot of folks I was hoping to get wearing other teams' jerseys now. Tataishi, Okita, Sera, Mukai, and Endo. But we got our guy. We got Jitsuo Onizuka, and Oryx Blue looks good on him. So, into round 2 we go. And it's a good question who I'm going to take with my next pick, considering I'm going to have to wait a while. So, see if there's any names that are bolded, because those are the folks that I wanted to take. Run on pitchers. Tatsuo Tamuda goes to the Eagles. I was hoping I might be able to pick him up as a third baseman. Ah, dang it, they took Kusano. I was so hoping he'd fall to us. So let's take a look at the guys I've shortlisted. None of the pitchers are really looking that interesting, except for Tsuneyuki Tanaka, flyball pitcher with crummy movement. Maybe he TCRs and becomes better. I think we're going to go with Yoshitomo Yamauchi as our top pick. Yeah, Yudai Narita, Isao Matsunaga has even worse movement. Like, why is everyone throwing straight gas? So, because it's Serpentine for the rest of the draft, we're taking 2 back-to-back. So we're going to take Yoshitomo Yamauchi and Tsuneyuki Tanaka. Ah, man, some of the other guys I wanted got taken. So Yuzo Kawasaki to the Marines. Asada, the catcher, to the Dragons. Yudai Narita to the Eagles. Eagles stocking up on middle infielders. Kazuaki Sakamoto, who I had my eye on because he's a flyball hitter, went to the Spirit. So out of who's left, do we go with Katsushi Kamiya, who probably is a corner outfielder, power bat. Do we go with Tomio Nojima? Nojima looks like he's as bad as trash. So I'm not going to even bother. All right, Kamiya it is. Switch hitter, center fielder. Now, for the second of those 2 picks, wow, this guy was hiding away as a pitcher? Hatsuhiko Nakao. Welcome to the team. You are never to pitch again. And my music ran out. One moment, please. There we go. If his bat develops, who cares that he can't pitch? Alright, out of who's left? Shigeo Nakamura could do well as a shortstop or third baseman, but his bat is not so fun. You know, let's take Tomohiro Fujiwara and see if he if talent change randomness is kind to him. Balanced bats. Could do well at third base. Yeah, let's go with Katsumi Nakahata here. Round 8. Yeah, that's a no from me. Are there any pitchers left? Ooh, they're all trash. Glad I got those pitchers when I did. Well, he's a ground baller. Yeah, let's go with Toshiyuki Sugawara here. And pick number 9. Oh, that's why we had Tomio Nojima selected. So we were going to convert him into a shortstop. Right. Okay, final selection. I want to get a catcher. We're going to go with Takenori Kobayashi. And that is the draft. And do I even want to know how expensive Seiya Suzuki is going to be to keep? He wants $14 million. So we also got Osho Kawasaki here, who wants to start playing in the majors. You know, that bat doesn't look half bad. He just has to get into games. Tomoki Ishihara, pending free agent. Suguru Iwazaki, probably not going to get extended. So let's take a look at the minor league squad now. So Carlos Gomez is still our top choice. Clayton Beater's bad now. Justin Wilson is a pending trade candidate. Masaru Sato, who we got in a trade from Hanshin, looks like he could turn to something. Losing Yo kind of stinks, but I'm okay with the guys we got back. Miyagi's got to turn it around this year, man. Oh, Fujioka's turning into a decent pitcher. Okay, ground baller too. Our third round selection may actually get the call up this year. And then there's our ace of the future, Shinnosuke Sato, number 4 prospect, kicking butt. Tanaka's going to be joining the rotation. Oh dear, Shimizu's turned into gone bad. Now I'll clear out the guys who are on the draft list later. I think we have too many catchers. Yeah, I think Ishihara, we're going to let him go. Maeda is going to be on the trading block because, oh my goodness, that bat is atrocious. And then we got Shun Gyosai Masuda, who's actually turning into a pretty solid bat. He may actually get the call up to the majors next season. There's Onizuka. Nice, nice. I want Taniguchi to turn into something good too. Batted 310, 372, 405 last season. Akira Yamamoto, 284, 362, 433. So we got some talent down in the farm team at like the first DH spot. Kazumitsu Miura, I'm just waiting for him. Okay, he may actually be worth a call-up. I want his bat to develop a little more, though. I mean, WRC 93 is pretty solid, but I don't know if it's going to translate. Manny Guzman. Our shortstop of the future. Once Kepler leaves, Guzman's getting the call-up. Kendai again, who needs to actually find a home on the roster. Ditto for Ryoto Kita. I'm going to have to take a look at the farm team and start to cut some of the chaff. That's a problem with NPB, is that your farm team tends to get bloated. I mean, we're not that far over the organizational limit of 70, so could do worse. Kieran making a couple of minor signings. Skip ahead to the winter meetings and see who we can pick up. I am not going to get tired of this view. Especially our guys 1, 2, 3 in the batting race. Who did I DFA? Why did I DFA him? I can't remember. I mean, we extended him. He's on... Oh man, Kepler wants a big extension too. Sorry man, I can't give that to you. We only built this Death Star to fire twice. So we got this here, then 2 more before Yoshida and Yamamoto have their opt-outs, and we have to really look at how we're going to rebuild this team. I mean, our payroll's already 6. I don't know how much more we can take on. Yuki Yanagita and Naoya Masuda on the trading block. I think at some point I need to clear out all the free agents. I'm worried that we're starting to run out of room. I think I'm going to throw some money the way of Shinya Kayama. He's bounced around the league a bit. And we could use a lefty in the pen because we don't have any. Well, aside from Suguru Iwazaki, but I don't know how long that's going to last. I think it might also be time to move on from Kyoyama. It's been a few disappointing seasons for Masaya, but better to have too many pitchers than not enough. So let's offer 3 years. Oof. I'm okay with 2. Let's bump that up to 50 innings pitched. I'm okay with a dollar. It's the term that I have an issue with. Akira Nakamura heads to the Bears, I see. Let's see, has anyone else made trades yet? Nope, still just a lot of Oryx. Trust me, my other save was worse when I was the Shizuoka Arrows. Alright, have I traded with every other team? Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9. So there's only like a handful of teams I haven't traded with. Ha. Hikaru Ota goes to the Spirit. Fighters restock on their relievers. Eagles doing the same and giving Marte a lot of money. Takumi Oshiro gets way too much money from the Bay Stars. 2.7 million for 5 years. Are you crazy? Oh, the Marines opening up the pocketbook for Yan Cheng Wang. Interesting. Kota Futaki heads to the Swallows, 4 years at 1.6 per. One of our cast-offs, Yuki Udagawa, heads to the Carp. It's a shame that Yasuhiro Ogawa decided to test free agency after blowing out his flexor tendon. Wow, Kazuki Mishima comes back to the league from his stint in the majors. Taisuke Yamaoka is available again. Oh, can we get him back? Oh, come on! What do you mean you're not interested? You started your career here. Shima, interesting. Daiichi Oseda, fragile, no. I'm still interested in getting Shinya Kayama, but None of these other guys are really intriguing. Maybe if we get... I'm taking a flyer on Kentaro Takahata here. Maybe he can be a good long relief guy, and a one-year deal, there's nothing wrong with that, even if it is a little over his asking price. I think I need to start setting my sights higher on the pitching options. At least I'm not scrambling to sign anyone. I feel like we've got a good squad. Alright. I'm only allowed one more trade this year. Might as well make it a good one. Tempting as it would be to get Yuki Anagita. Our bullpen's already good enough. I don't need Naoya Masuda. Yuya Yanagi's on the trading block. Back-to-back 3-war seasons. Pending free agent. What do they want for him? They want Gomez. Okay, what about Justin Wilson? What if we also added in... Kenda again? No. I mean, Yuya Yanagi's been a solid player. The last 2 seasons have been dominant for him. I also find it interesting that Jose Lopez went from being a player with the Giants, Baystars, and Hawks, and is now the GM of the Chunichi Dragons. Okay, so if that's not interesting to you, what about Yamato Hirano? Alright, so Maki Yamazaki got his attention. Seems like a lot to give up for just one guy. Let's go back to the prospects. I'm trying to get serious, dude. Man, they just really want... Okay, so let's start from scratch again. I'm not giving up anyone on this list. Do the Dragons have any big contracts we could take off their hands? What if we got Yudai Ono instead? Well, they will take just about anything in this deal. All right, so let's go down to brass tacks. Now let's put Kita in this deal. Let's put Katsumata. Let's see if they'll be willing to retain some salary. Okay. I mean, we are adding a little bit more in contract than I expected. And Yudai Ono's old, but he is good. Career Chunichi Dragon put up ridiculous numbers in 2023 when he's been reliable over the last few seasons. And he would be a huge boost to our starting rotation. And we're able to get them to eat money. So, we got our deal here. Justin Wilson and Shoki Katsumata for Yudai Ono. That is our one trade for the remainder of the calendar year. Losing Justin Wilson stinks, but adding Yudai Ono, how much better does that rotation look? Even if Takayasu's still gone for the beginning of the season. With Fernandez, Fujimoto, Higashi, we got Iwazaki still. I think that means Kyoyama may get bounced. Oh, Tomiyama gets moved out of the rotation. Interesting. Oh, he'd be moved back in once we put Takayasu back on the DL. So how do you like them apples? And now we are at the top of the leaderboard for wins above replacement acquired. Love it. Alright, who didn't give Yudai Ono his number? Fess up. Oh, it's Yuki Sato. Yeah, I'm okay with Ono wearing 2 instead of 22 as a result. How bad is our payroll right now? Because we just took on like 3 million. All right, so 5th in the league. Ono only added 2.4 million. This is the highest payroll we've run in a long while. But we're nudging up against the budget. I don't think we've got room to add more folks. Ryodai Matsumoto goes to the Spirit. Interesting call. Hirai to the Fighters. Now Higashihama gets $5.7 million from the Swallows. Someone's purse strings got opened up. Wow. Swallows going deep on the pitchers this offseason. Futaki and now Higashihama. As much as I hate to make it about, like, oh no, not being able to finish his career with the Dragons, he's chasing a championship. I can't fault him on that. Alright, Kentaro Takahata will be joining our minor league team. Register his contract. And we'll see how he does. Kenta Ishida gets way too much money. Kazuki Mishima is looking for not a heck of a lot. But the bullpen feels like it's already a strong suit, so I don't feel like cheesing the game any more than I already have. I mean, we did just go out and get Yudai Ono, for Pete's sake. I'm not going to be able to afford Seiya Suzuki. He wants $12.5 million. I mean, Mishima's still a solid option. Maybe not as great as he once was, but where do I put him? We got Iwasaki, we got Fujimoto, we got Higashi, we got Julian Fernandez. At some point, I can't hog all the major leaguers. Interesting. Hunter Renfroe looks like he's not signed yet. Are the fighters out of money? Neither is Carter Stewart. There's some interesting inaction going on in the offseason so far. Yasuaki Yamasaki heads to the Angels. He's going to get to play with Shohei Ohtani. Clever. His countryman joins him. The LA Angels, who won the championship in 2023. 2024, the White Sox win it over the Giants. Okay, that as a lineup, Yoshida, Suzuki, Kepler, Ota, and then Gen in the DH hole. That's tasty. And adding Ono as our top left-handed pitcher too. Alright. Has Kasama made his mind up yet? Takahiro Matsunaga with his busted UCL goes to the Lions. Ishikawa to the Carp. A lot of big names still on the board. Oop. Shinya Kayama will be joining the Oryx Buffaloes after bouncing around Hawks, Tigers, Eagles, Carp. nice to have an extra left-hander coming out of the bullpen. Him and Yudai Ono are both the old bees of this lineup. And I hope Takayasu comes back from his torn labrum decent. Solid ground ballers are always welcome on my squads. Still second on the leaderboard for war adding. And I think I'm going to retire some more numbers next season. There's a lot of Buffaloes and Braves who are in the Hall of Fame that aren't getting recognized by this franchise. We're going to hang some more numbers up on the wall. I mean, you'll notice you retired Keiichi Suzuki's number. We went above 500. We retired Ichiro's number. We made the playoffs. We retired Tuffy Rhodes' number. We won the whole shebang. Clearly, if I retire more numbers, we may never lose again. And for 2025, I'm only allowed one trade. Because we finished first. We don't have a say in the matter. We only have one trade. Yusuke Oyama, 7 years from the Bay Stars. Holy smokes. Where did they get the money? That's going to stink if you're Hanshin Tigers. Now you've got your third baseman on the other side of the field staring at you. I mean, you've got guys like Kei Tomori, Ryoma Nishikawa, Keita Sano. Bay Stars are going to be a threat next year. I'm calling it now. They could use some extra pitchers, but hey, they got Kimoto from a few drafts ago coming back. And it looks like he is going to be a two-way player too. When does the preseason start? The 29th. Okay. So we're going to sim to there. And then I got to park it because we don't have the 2025 jerseys ready yet for everyone. I've done 4 out of the 12 teams. With Dahl and Echevarria and Renfroe not in the league anymore, I wonder how that's going to change the power balance. I mean, the Fighters weren't going to be that good, or weren't that good last season anyway. They just missed out on the playoff spot, and the team who beat them got swept. Signings have gone quiet. Poor Shuhei's still a free agent. Thank goodness. Finally got Guru Hit Me Hard out of his head. That only took a year because of injuries. Alright, Hall of Fame voting. Nobody getting in. Just like the real Hall of Fame. Ha 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 ha. Did everyone, like, spend all their money or something? I mean, we're 4th in the league in payroll now. Just a hair ahead of the Fighters. Bears are only paying their guys $8 million. That is criminal. And although they signed Akira Nakamura, I wonder what happened. Did they grant him his release? Oh no, he was with the Bears last season. Okay. So he's still hopping around the league. "41-year-old Takumi Kuriyama still plugging away. How the heck is this team only paying folks $8 million? Wow. They don't have a single contract over $1 million. Spirit have only won over $8 million over $1 million. So hey, you know what? If Kenda again can come out next season and actually, you know, bat, that works for me. Yuji Nishino, 2 years to go back to the Lions. We've got enough outfielders. Tempting as it is, I think I'll pass. So that will about do it, I think. I do want to give a teaser, though. I had this teaser in the start of last season, but for 2025, we're going to be sporting some very, very nice duds. So fresh, so clean. Look at these guys. We'll keep the minor leagues with their previous setup because this is only supposed to last 1 year. The guy whose number we're retiring next season, Yutaka Fukumoto. Yeah, Yoshida can play first. Easily. Folks, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to show you the rest of these jerseys. And I will post them on the Out of the Park forums once they are ready. But until then, I have to bid you adieu. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you on the flip side. Hopefully by Wednesday I'll be finished. But if not, it may be a while before we resume the streams. Be sure to follow and to get notification when I am back and streaming. Till next time, Firage, take us out.